Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, California Weather Watch. Today is August 4th, and right now we're looking at the mid-level water vapor loop, kind of highlighting the fact that bringing some dry air into the region could continue some thunderstorms across some of the higher terrain of the Sierra Nevada here, Northern California and Nevada over the next few days here. There is a little bit of sign of life here coming for the monsoon here, maybe through the 8th, ninth time frame, a bit here. But for the extended forecast here, it looks like a big ridge could potentially build all the way up into Canada here, which would include, of course, the southwest here. So we'll be watching that as we go through some of these forecast model runs. I'll show you just what the Western Pacific and typhoon moisture has to do with that potential for the ridge here in a moment. Looking at this day in weather history, Southern California, check it out. Strong thunderstorms associated with monsoon is usually the reason for the crazy weather there, because across Southern California, when it does happen here, but there are some fire activity here that can get pretty crazy. You can see some of these high temperatures and the Pines fire in late July there back in 2002. A helicopter clipped a power line there. Yeah, and some of these fires can really create big amounts of damage here. You can see $23 million, destroyed 187 structures there, scorched almost 62,000 acres there. So yeah, just a reminder on that some of the fires this time of year can be quite destructive as well. Sunday's forecast, Monday's forecast, you can see we're starting to warm back up across the valley here. Nothing too crazy out there, and Death Valley is starting to get back up towards 120 here as you go through Monday. This is dangerous heat, Phoenix, Arizona. Again, starting another stretch here of 110 plus across the area. Major heat risk associated. You know the drill. Stay hydrated. Limit your time outdoor if you can. This is updated today, Friday, August 4th. Northern Arizona outlook next week. They do call for that chance of some increased moisture here across some of the region, but it's not showing up too well in some of the model runs here. So it's not a big moisture surge, not a big monsoon moisture surge coming up. Check out Los Angeles here. There's even some wind advisories issued here, as you can see, just off to the west of Santa Barbara along the coastline there. And just a reminder, you're getting those strong north and northwest winds this time of year, and they can get pretty gusty out there. Pretty big pressure gradient sets up between the interior sections of the southwest here, and of course the Pacific Ocean is much cooler, so you get that gradient that gets taken out right on the coastline there. So if you get on the points or some of the higher peaks right against the coastline there, it can get pretty darn windy during the summertime, especially the afternoon hours. And this is kind of looking at that. This is the European, and you can see these winds pick up as you go through the afternoon and evening hours, and some of that even floods into the valley areas a little bit here, tries to provide a little relief, although it doesn't get too far inland, or it doesn't affect the temperatures too much for the most part. But look, by the time you get towards Saturday evening here, some of the winds roaring down the coastline. So interesting stuff here. The climate of California always got something interesting to offer. Check out today's highs here. Las Vegas 104, Pahrump 102 out there, Kingman, Bishop, Death Valley about 114 or so as you go through the day today. This is issued this morning here. It's typical summertime stuff here. So you can see Death Valley was tied with El Centro, California for the high temperature yesterday. Angel Fire, New Mexico, right down around freezing. Check out some of the Dora out there. You can see some tropical cyclone activity going on. This one might actually try to bring some moisture up towards Southern California. Probably is not going to bring any precipitation or anything, just kind of a curiosity at this point. And you can see Los Angeles mentions a little bit here. The upper level low associated with the remnants of tropical system Eugene could move off to the west-southwest of San Diego here, but not too big of a deal. Maybe some mid or high level clouds from that system. Now taking a look at some of the temperatures across the region, you can see Phoenix, Sky Harbor Airport here. You can see the red line is average, and you can clearly see the above average conditions here existing for probably the next 2 weeks or so. And we could even get warmer than this here, depending on just how that ridge develops here across much of the west coast of North America. This is Bakersfield, California. Enjoy today, because it's going to warm up a bit here, as you can see, through this weekend into early next week. A little bit of a drop down, then maybe that fantasy ridge redevelops there. Now taking a look here, this is the Western Pacific. Here's Japan here, and you can see Hawaii, Alaska. There's BC, Washington, California there. There's tropical system Dora out there. So what's going to go on here is a lot of times this monsoon, not monsoon moisture, this tropical moisture out here, typhoon moisture, gets caught up in the westerlies, and this can have big implications downstream. As you can see, that typhoon moisture enter the jet stream there and really dig this trough out over the Pacific Ocean here in some of the Aleutian Islands. Then you can in turn see the huge ridging that builds all the way up into Canada. Would really warm up much of western North America here if this were to verify. So this is what we're watching here through the extended forecast. taking a look at that 500 millibar heights here on a little bit closer to home. Here's California. There's the Hawaiian Islands. There's Dora down here. Put that into motion. You can see a tropical system here. Try to bring that moisture up that we talked about a little bit. Probably not going to be any kind of a player here except for some mid and upper level clouds across the region. And you can see that the ridge heights bubbling around here. But then watch as we go through the extended. Look at some of this activity really move up across Pacific Northwest. This is the GFS model as of last night, but it shows this ridge clearly moving up all the way up into southeast Alaska, just about here across BC. And you can see in turn we increase these ridge heights across the southwest as well. Let's look at the European also. This is last night's run. What does it show? You can see the ridge building in for some warmer weather in the meantime. As we extend off through the extended forecast here, you can see our 200. Look at this monster ridge just built all the way across Pacific Northwest, and this would really increase heights across much of Western North America. That's kind of what we're watching off through the extended. Now, looking at lightning flash density potential, I'll just kind of show you that not much associated across Southern California or Arizona. Northern California, some of the Sierra Nevada and Northern Nevada could have thunderstorms here for today. Going in tomorrow, maybe a little bit of a repeat there, but you see not much activity across Arizona or Southern California for the next few days coming up. Maybe a little bit of return to some of the southern southwest zones across Arizona as you go into Monday here. Now, this is also the same map. Day 1 thunderstorm outlook kind of shows something similar. Going to 8 to 14 day temperature probability outlook. You can see the potential for that big ridge building here. It is showing up now in the National Weather Service forecast here. You can clearly see the above average conditions all the way up to the Pacific Northwest, which include much of California here as well. Here we go, a 6 to 10 day precipitation probability outlook, and you can see the shutdown of the monsoon here as we go August 9th through August 13th. And again, that signal showing up as we go on out through mid-August. Not a great signal for monsoon lovers there. And this is 24-hour running precipitation total. So as we go through on into tomorrow, you can see that activity across Northern California and Nevada. Not much for Arizona. And, southern Utah has been shut off, southern Nevada as well, going in through Monday. And you can see a little bit of sign of life here, maybe around the 8th, 9th, and the National Weather Service talked about a little bit of that in the Flagstaff National Weather Service forecast discussion, but it's not a big signal here. And yeah, we scroll out almost 10 days here, and you can see not much of a signal until over 10 days out, maybe 11 days out here across southern Arizona, and maybe a return off in the extended for some of the Sierra Nevada as well. Not going to worry about that at this time frame. You can see Los Angeles, you get that Fantasy Ridge out here starting to bubble up some of these temperatures here. Big ensemble range here. You can see potentially getting very warm, but some of the ensembles don't show that as well. And the red line again is the average temperature this time of year. This is close to the coastline. This is the LAX, Los Angeles, California. Of course, it's going to be warmer across inland areas, most likely. San Francisco, a little bump up here as we go through the weekend, then kind of bouncing around average, potentially even warming up for some of the coastal regions here, depending on how that ridge sets up through the extended forecast. Redding, California, going to spend some time above average here. A couple days below here, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then that bounce back for the Fantasy Ridge, if we believe it or not. We'll continue to watch that over the next few days. Sacramento, something similar here as well. You can see the warm up as we go through Sunday, Monday, then a bounce down, and then a bounce back here as we go through the extended. Something similar for Las Vegas there as well. This is so far the first 3 days of August here, 1.21 degrees above average across the lower 48. Look at the northeast, nice and chilly there, and nice and warm across the plains up through Montana. Even some of Southern California starting to show up with those above average temperatures as well. You can see the suppression with that thunderstorm activity over the first couple days of August there across some of southern Nevada, Utah, and portions of northern Arizona as well. And this is so far for 2023 across the lower 48. We are kind of upticking these temperatures here, just a hair, about 1/100 of a degree a day. It seems like 0.39 above average, big yin and yang between the west and the east. You can see I talked about this the last couple days as well. Nino 3.4. We are in moderate El Nino territory. How that will affect California is still yet to be seen. It's something we'll be watching closely here. We'll be watching the ocean temperatures around the rest of the world, because the contrast between these warming waters here across the equatorial Pacific and other portions of the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and even the Atlantic Ocean, can still have big implications on just who sees what kind of weather temperature as we go through the fall, winter, and into early spring months next year. So it's something we get to watch here as we go for the next few months here. But yeah, shutting down that monsoon here, potential for big ridge building up over the area. Still some thunderstorms going on, as I showed you, across Northern California, Nevada, and some of the Sierra Nevada could kick some off over the next few days as well. But anyway, we'll continue to watch that fantasy forecast as we go on through the extended. Hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.